YouTube. Just thought I'd make a quick handling video of Ruby. I'm not quite sure how well you can hear me from there, but I've got the camera angled so it's over the box. Now I need to do a dish and she's webbing quite a lot. I'm going to do my best to try and keep my face out of this video, but I don't really want to tilt it so much. You can see that where she is. Just going to get a spray bottle for her. God, Mum chooses the wrong time to hoover all the time. Okay. Let's see. Alright, basically, for a spider her size, you won't need anything much bigger than that. Because they don't grow too much every molt, but that will do her. And she was in the bigger one, but she looked too small and lost. So basically, I think the humidity is, you need it at 75% to 80%, and the room temperature, or the temperature for the actual tub, you'd want that at around 20 to 21 degrees. They are happy at room temperature, but it's best to give them what they're used to, if you know what I'm talking about. Right, what I like to do is I like to test her temperament before I go in and pick her up. And it's easy to do this. You can just get a paintbrush, or what I'm using right now is just a stick of filters because I can't find a paintbrush. And you just gently let them know that you're there. And once they know that you're in there, you start thinking about handling them. You should know your own spider. You should be able to tell if they're up for being held or not, but basically just edge them out. I've seen a lot of people do this differently. Some people just go in and grab the tarantula. I don't like to do that. I like to edge them out and let them do it on their terms. Just have your hand there as support. That's what I find being quite stubborn today actually. She usually comes out no problems. Once they feel that there's a sturdy surface there, it should come out more than happily by themselves. She's a bit wobbly because she doesn't really want to walk out. But you angle it right, get their legs out, leave it so it's in their time. And there you go. You should have the tarantula in your hands. If they flick, there's no big deal, because that's a defense mechanism. They will flick itchy hairs from their abdomen around here. They use their back legs and flick it off. But she's usually pretty good. They'll web everywhere they go. Absolutely everywhere they go. And that's about it. That's about all you need to know about handling a spider. And then you just gently put your hand in their tank and do the same thing you did with getting them onto your hand. It's usually more difficult getting them off. There we go. And it's as easy as that. That's how you handle a tarantula. But now she's got in the way of her water bowl, which I really need. I don't like putting my hands in there while she's in there, because you don't know how unpredictable they can be, because they are a wild creature, and usually they don't get as much food as you'll give them in captivity. So she's sometimes quite funny with me taking her water bowl. She doesn't mind being picked up, but don't you come back out again, miss. Yeah, you'll need, for any spider, you'll need a water bowl. Other than spiderlings, spiderlings can live quite happily off of just crickets, because that gives them quite a lot of their water source. But a spider about this size, you'll need, this is just a bottle lid, and you can see the size of it compared to her. She's quite big, but you don't want a water dish that's too big for the spider. You could easily drown them. She doesn't actually like the water dish being in there while I'm giving her water, so she doesn't like being sprayed. So if I get the chance, I will actually take the dish out. It's actually quite misty. Let's put that in there. But yeah, you want to make sure they've got fresh water on a daily basis, and if the humidity is difficult, I mean, in the other tank that she was in, it didn't hold humidity at all, but in this one it holds it quite nicely. The mud's quite damp, but basically what you have to do is, unless you're having your spider at room temperature, you want a tub around this size, depending on the size of the spider, and what you want to do is you want to lay a heat mat across half of the tub, preferably not the water side, or else the water will evaporate really quick. So you want it about halfway, 3/4 of the way across, so they've got a cool side and a hot side, and they can decide where they would like to sit. And I have a feeling a lot of you guys are going to say that that's much too small for a spider that size, but it's really not. They don't have big not enclosures, but they don't search for the biggest homes in the wild. They will like allocate themselves a little rock, and they'll burrow under that rock, and they'll have their own little area. And it's usually the females that don't really come out of their hides very much. It's the males that come out, and they'll start looking for the females. But as you can see, she's not in a very good mood with me now. I've held her. Look, I'll get a bit of a closer view of her. When they scrunch up all their front legs like that, shows that they're not in a very good mood. But I don't necessarily advise holding a tarantula, because they can be as unpredictable as any other animal, and quite obviously nobody wants to get bitten by a spider, because they would be quite painful. I haven't found out yet, but I'm sure at some point I will. Next week I should be getting my Avicularia versicolor come through. I think it's only a spiderling, but I won't know until she gets here, or he gets here. But I will make a video of that as soon as it gets here, because they are a beautiful blue colour, especially when they're babies. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say about tarantulas. They're pretty straightforward and easy to keep. She'll eat maybe 1 to 3 crickets a week. 1 to 3 crickets a week. And you want a mist in there, unless you've recently done the soil and it's quite damp in there already. You might want to mist in there a few times a week. Make sure it keeps up the humidity, as I said, 75 to 80% humidity. And yeah, as I said, fresh dish of water. Make sure that they're comfortable. If they're doing their best to stay on the side of the tank, then that probably means that it's either too damp or too dry for them. So you need to get that just right. You need to get it at the level that they're happy with. I mean, when I first put her in here, it was quite damp because I didn't drain it properly, because I wanted to keep the humidity in. But now it's all dried out nicely, and it's exactly how she likes it. And she's quite a happy little spider. My spiderling molted. He, I don't know how much baby he got, but he's got a lot darker now as well. I'd show you, but it's just such a minute little thing, you won't be able to see it anyway. But yeah, spider care and, well, tarantula care is pretty straightforward. As you can see, there's a water dish, there's mud, and you want a secure lid so they can't get out, and also a lid that holds in humidity. This doesn't have any air holes in it because it's actually not airtight around the sides, so there'll be enough air so that she can breathe, but enough air tightness to keep the humidity in. As you can see, I'll show you actually, because you can't really see. As you can see, there's like water droplets on the lid, which is a good thing. That's all the humidity from the inside the tank. And yeah, I'd say that's about it. You don't have to put any decorations in there. I don't feel that this is big enough for her with decorations, and she seems quite happy just wandering around. That's the good thing about Chilean roses, is they like to sit out on display, and a lot of them don't really go in and hide away. My little baby one, a Chili Flame, he likes to burrow, so he'll make himself a little hole, so I don't think he'll be the most sociable of spiders once he gets bigger. But yeah, they usually just sit on display. People call them pet rocks, because they don't really do much or move. They just kind of sit there looking pretty. So yeah, that's about all I really wanted to show you, really. But one main thing you do need to have is one of these. You need a spray bottle, So obviously you can miss their tank as and when they need it. I mean, once you start getting used to actually having a spider, you'll get used to the body language and what your spider prefers, food-wise, enclosure-wise. But yeah, that's about it. And another thing, just quickly before I end the video, is make sure you've got them on a nice flat soft surface. So like I've got my bed, in case they do fall they won't damage themselves at all. Always make sure you've got the tub and lid handy in case of any schizo spiders, because they do have quite fast bursts of energy, and so you want the lid there so you can block them with the lid. And she's quite good. If she doesn't want to come out, she'll like dangle on the edge of the tank, and if she doesn't want to, she'll just go back in. And if she wants to come out, she'll just come out onto your hand. She's quite easy to tell what she wants, to be honest with you. But that is about it. There's not really too much I can say about spiders now, but if you have any questions about anything, I'm not a spider expert, but I'll tell you what I know. And I hope you enjoyed my quick video of Ruby, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more to come as I'll be getting a lot more spiders. And I'll obviously have to show them all off to you. So thank you a lot for watching, guys, and watch out for any new videos that I upload. Thanks for watching, and bye.